This is GrandmaGloria. We're continuing from yesterday. As you can see, it's a little brighter. So we did the beef ribs. This I wrapped in plastic. And you don't have to worry about the plastic clinging on. This is the one in plastic. And usually I've never did my ribs in my roasting pan. I've always done it in an aluminum pan, but I didn't have the size, and so I ended up having to use the roasting pan. And we're gonna move this plastic. It removes very easily. I'm going to show you how the one that you just put in the oven. I want to see how nice and tender that is. And this is also tender. As you can see, beef is a little different from the pork. It shrinks when pork don't shrink. So what we're going to do, I'm going to slice these. Trying to cut across that bone. And you can see the meat is just falling apart from that. But I want to let you know, right now this is not barbecue ribs. This is really just baked ribs, even if you did it on the grill. But you see how nice that cuts? When you do it low and do it slow, this is what you're gonna get. And I want to get this out of the way because I got a special treat for you. It's gonna be an online demonstration how to make, like I said, this is just baked ribs. It's only become barbecue ribs when you put the barbecue sauce on there. And you just don't want just anything. Excuse me. I'm gonna cut up this one here from the pan. It's kind of breaking apart because it's nice and tender. That's what you want when you cook it low and cook it slow. But we're not gonna stop right there. Nice and tender. Look at that. So, the best part of making barbecue ribs is the sauce. So you're gonna have a live demonstration of what I do when I make my barbecue sauce. Now I have some barbecue sauce here. Inexpensive. I think it was the most cheapest one on the shelf. And it doesn't matter if it's expensive or if it's cheap. What you add to it what's count. So you got those ribs, and this little bottle is not enough for all of those ribs. So what I do, making my own barbecue sauce. I started, for your sake, I'm gonna start it with some sauce. I don't wanna have to transform all of that ketchup into the barbecue sauce, which I've done before. But I want you to prime yours. And I don't waste anything, as you can see. So I'm pouring a little water in that. I'm gonna shake this up and get all of this sauce out of here. Okay, this what goes in your barbecue sauce. And since I don't measure anything for your sake, I'm gonna try to measure. I'm gonna start off with some oil. Why oil? Because if you just leave it with just all tomato sauces and all of those spices, it's gonna start caking up on you, getting thick. The oil keeps it loose. It's running over. So that's maybe 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. Since I don't measure anything, let me try my spoon. I'll just start dapping in. That's 1. Okay, 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. With my ketchup, come on down. Oops. This is a 1/2 cup. I'm gonna do a cup of ketchup. Ooh, Jesus. I didn't mean for that to fall into it. But that's all right. We're gonna make it good. And we're going to use, I just dab in, but some of you are going to want to know how much it is. Not a whole lot because you got the hot sauce. So we're going to do, that's a teaspoon of black pepper. And I just like to just put this in. Okay, that's a teaspoon. I'm teaching you how to cook by taste and just putting in. Okay, I'm gonna put in a teaspoon of garlic powder. It's about a teaspoon. Let me do, this is Worcestershire sauce. Okay. 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Mustard is very, very important to this ingredient. Mustard and vinegar. And your hot sauce. Oh goodness. Okay, let's see. I want about 2 tablespoons of my mustard. And then when I finish with all of this, I'm going to taste to see if it's up to what I want. Did I do the Worcestershire sauce? I think I did. Okay, here's my vinegar. Ooh. Okay, 2½ teaspoon vinegar. One thing I didn't pull out, and I'm going to get some brown sugar. We're going to get let's see. Let's put it in this cup. This is spontaneous for you all. That's a 1/2 cup. A cup and 1/4. I mean a 1/2 cup. 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Then I'm gonna take all of this, take it over to the stove. I'm not gonna put any salt in it right now because vinegar and I'm not going to put any salt in it right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stir all of this up, let it form into that sauce. We're going to come back and we're going to start doing the ribs, putting the sauce on the ribs. So I will return in a few minutes. We are going to baste our ribs. Now, I don't think that just because it have that dark look that is burnt, it is not. So, what I normally do, take the ribs, put about 3 or 4 in my sauce. I'm gonna let you see what this look like. Turn the pot down so you can look at it. And see, one thing I never do, take it out, put it in the pan, and then serve it. No. I want the meat to go not just on top, but go inside. That's a beef rib. I love beef ribs. Let me turn this over so I can get more in here. So it's not the ribs itself, it's the sauce. You got to have a good barbecue sauce. And I come from a family of kings of barbecue. Now normally if I had enough time, I normally pull the fat off. Since I don't have that type of time, I'm just look at that nice cut of meat. Look how tender it is. Oh my goodness. You all gonna love this. Oh my goodness. Okay. And what I do to make sure it's just not sitting on the top of the rib, I'll put it in the stove on 300 degrees, cooking it low, cooking it slow for about a half hour with the foil on top. So I'm gonna put this in here. Put it on in the foil, and I'm gonna finish these off camera. So what we're going to do is some foil paper. You do this because if you just leave it uncovered, it's going to crystallize on you. It's gonna get hard. It's gonna burn. Anything with tomato sauce burns. So we're gonna be back.